Can Sufism bring people of East and West together to make a peaceful world?
A man from East and a man from West, we are sitting together. Isn't it enough to answer this question that it brings people together?
Well, I agree,
Yeah.
and wholeheartedly. But I'm also an Imam, so I tend to talk a lot. So what I would also say is that I would think that it is possible to do that because we come from our heart, and so the heart is my heart is like his heart, and also I think a bigger question is, can this kind of mystical path, this Sufi path, also bring people together, Eastern people together with themselves, and Western people together with themselves also, because a lot of people are very separate in their societies.
Well, in addition to Imam Salim's thing, since this Sufism, probably this is a very poor translation in my understanding of putting tasawwuf into isms, but that is the best translation of tasawwuf in West. Hence it is the path to observe the unity behind the apparent multiplicity. This is the multiplicity: East, West, South, North, third world, first world, second world,
Yeah.
developed countries, underdeveloped countries, right? All these tribes and races and nations. Right? The aim and the core of Sufi philosophy is to get humans, regardless of faith, culture, religion, racism, language, from that multiplicity, and to bring them to observe and recognize and acknowledge that unity. And that very unity which is same, that very thing which is the same in East and which is same in West. So when the followers of this path, they tread upon on this difficult journey, their aim is to come out of all these discriminations. And as Maulana Rumi says, in this garden of mystic, it is false discrimination of I, you, he, she and we. It is only him. And well, he said that he is Imam, he talks more, but I'm taking his job here.
It's okay.
Yeah. So that takes you out of all these discriminations. And at the end you find that it is him. It is only him. And you do not look at people that they are coming from where they are coming. You look at them who has created them. And since you are in love with the Creator, so this is the beautiful creation of Him. How, as a lover, I am able not to love Him? It is impossible for a lover. So that essence is that you start looking at creation with the perspective of the Creator, and everybody is your brother. Every single human being is part of that family, that mutual family which we share. It is probably the only recipe left now. How would you say, Imam?
Only recipe left?
Yes, for this global peace.
To come together. Yeah. But I would also expand on something that you brought up, which was this concept of love. And when we are in love with our Creator, then we're also in love with all of creation.
Yes.
Because this all of creation, it says in the Hadith that Allah was so wanted to be known. He was a hidden treasure, and He so loved to be known that He created the whole creation in order to be known. So everywhere we look, everywhere we see, every person, insect, rock, fish, whatever we're seeing is part of that creation which was created out of love. And so to be true to that desire of God's to be known and to be loved, then we are loving everything that we see around us. And when we do that, as you said, there is no more separation.
There is no.
You know, it's like you also said, it's impossible when you're truly deeply aware of the way this creation was created out of love. You cannot deny it. You cannot be separate from it. And so if you're a Western man like myself and you meet an Eastern man, it doesn't matter where I'm from and where he's from, because I know and he knows that we're created by the same Creator out of love.
Doesn't Allah say He is in every living being, in every being?
Let's say that you are Henry Ford, okay, and you.
Do I look like Henry Ford?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I liked you right away. So let's say you're Henry Ford. When you invent the way to build cars, the way he built them, his power of intellect was in every one of the cars that was made by his factory, because he was the one who instilled, he's the one who thought it all up, and it was his also power of will that made that all happen. Okay, now I'm not comparing Henry Ford with Allah, but this maybe is a little metaphor, I think, for understanding that. So something in creation does not have to be like on fire, or a big storm, or the ocean waves or something like that, in order to demonstrate the power of Allah. These rocks that are sitting in this stream here, by their very presence of stability, are also demonstrating the power of Allah that is within them as well. So creation, even here, the water going down, it's all demonstrating that to me. Yes.
Well, I mean, this whole universe, let's see, there are 99 attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which we say that these are the Isma Ilahiyya, right? And this whole universe, according to the Sufis, that this is the reflection of all those attributes. Like Khalik is where that means creator, right? And that attribute, wherever someone, a human being is actually creating something, right, is not an attribute of the man, but actually the attribute of the Lord, which is flowing through that human being, and it is coming into the shape. Right? The problem comes here when I claim that no, this is my own attribute.
Yep.
Right? I have made this. And when you are referring to the Quran Kareem and you are saying that in Allah ala kulli shay'in qadir, that everything is in the power realm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that Qudra also reflects through the humans also. We want to achieve that power. We want to be the powerful. That is the very probably the innate desire of a human being. Can Imam, I can say that?
Yeah, I think
I don't
so.
know if
well,
any theologian
because it's a reflection of what we see in creation, and we desire to be like that.
But the foremost power that we need is to be powerful on that commanding self, which is driving me.
The
How
nafs.
a man can be powerful if he is driven by his nafs if he is driven by his commanding self. So this is a very fake and a false pursuit of achieving power outwardly, if you yourself are the slave of your own desire, right? So the foremost thing and the real kings, the Sufi says that the real kings are the fukras. The real kings are those dervishes who have, who are governing themselves. Who are, Hazrat Ibn Arabi said, he wrote a journal about this thing, which was translated into many languages also, where he says that in Quran Kareem it came that regarding humans, it is said that Khalifatullah fil ard, that he is my vicegerent on the earth. Right? Yeah. He interprets it as that fil ard is me, fil ard is this human kingdom, right? And that spirit is Amr Rabbi, that Ruh is the ruler, that is the ruler. So if your Ruh is not ruling this city, but we call as a human being, right? Then there is somebody else, and that is your desire which is ruling you. So all these attributes, whatever it is, Allahu Jamilun wa yuhibbul Jamal, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is beautiful and He loves beauty,
Yes.
right? And everything what we see in this background, all this beautiful water and this beautiful scenery, this is also the reflection of Him. So everything which is present, in what one sense you can say that this is all the reflections of probably all the attributes.
Yes, and it's important, I think, to realize that the secret of that is not to keep searching around everywhere for something that's beautiful, but rather to realize that exactly where you are and you and everything around you already is beautiful. And you can love Allah and see His beauty wherever you are, and that's the goal, I think, to do, is to see that.
Yeah, seeking not the beauty, but seeking this, that why my eyes are unable to see the beauty.
Right.
Because everything is beautiful.
Yeah, that's right. It already is beautiful.
Yeah. So once everything is beautiful, probably there is something wrong with me, that my eyes are probably not at that station where my Lord created my eyes to be, and I am looking at something which is not beautiful, because this is
you're thinking. Yeah, you're thinking. Because you're only thinking that it's not beautiful, but it actually is.
Or probably I'm standing at some place from where I am unable to see that beauty.
Right, but the essence of that, though, is a hadith about the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and his companions walking down the road, and they see a dead dog on the side of the road, and the Prophet says, "Look, it has such beautiful teeth." So this is like the essence. He could see with the eyes of the lover. He could do that.
My Piro Moshe used to say this thing, that if you are not looking at the beauty, your eye is not the human eye. Your eye is the eye of a fly who always notice what is ugly. So this whole path is because since it is called as Ihsan, Tasawwuf is also called as Ihsan. So, and Ihsan is the beauty, the perfectionist beauty. And this is to make the human being who is unfortunately in that state, which is near to Asfala Safilin, the very lower part. So this is the whole journey. I would like to say that this is also a conscious journey. From lower conscious level, the humans, they start developing themselves to the higher and the highest conscious levels, and those highest conscious levels near to where I am called as Ahsan Taqweem, where everything becomes beautiful.
But it's interesting that you brought up Ihsan, because I think that's one of the, if you'll pardon the expression, tasks of tasawwuf.
Yes.
Because when most of the time when I'm talking with our fellow Muslim brothers and sisters, they know about Iman, and they know about Islam, and they know about what's the other one? I'm sorry to forget, but they always forget Ihsan. And the Sufis have to teach them again to remember that Ihsan is one of those subtle but very essential pieces of our Islamic tradition.
And this is that department of, now in modern times, what my observance has been, Imam, that I have always seen Islam as a deen. And
A way of
yes,
life.
A way of life.
Yeah.
And this definition of religion of modern times,
Yeah.
that is only specific to one department of deen.
Yeah.
And that one department is the guideline how I should act outwardly, right? With other human beings, with the environment, with the society, how should I behave? This cannot be the what to do and what not to do. This is not the whole way of life. Right? What states I go through, where do I stand consciously? Am I in His presence or not? This is not in the religious jurisprudence.
Right.
So when we separate this part, right, and only focus on the jurisprudence, right, and call it as a religion, I think that is where we are making mistake.